You're in the shower, or driving, or just about to fall asleep, and then, completely unprompted, it arrives. A memory, not a neutral one. The thing you said at that party in 2011. The way your voice cracked during that presentation. The time you called your teacher mom. It floods back with full sensory detail. The heat in your face, the exact words, the expressions of the people around you. And your body responds as if it is happening right now. Your stomach tightens, your shoulders contract, you might actually wince. This is not a malfunction. This is not your brain being cruel. This is one of the most consistent and well-documented features of human memory. And understanding why it happens will tell you something important about what your brain is actually built to protect you from, and why it keeps getting the timeline wrong. The first thing to understand is that embarrassing memories are not stored the same way as ordinary memories. When something embarrassing happens, two things fire simultaneously. The prefrontal cortex processes the social information. What happened, who saw it, what it might mean for how you are perceived. But at the same moment, the amygdala fires. And the amygdala does not process social nuance. It processes threat. And social humiliation, to your brain's threat detection system, registers as a genuine danger, not metaphorically, literally. Research by Naomi Eisenberger at UCLA found that social pain activates the same neural circuits as physical pain. Being laughed at, being seen as inadequate, being publicly exposed, these experiences light up your brain the same way a physical injury does. This dual activation, cognitive and emotional, is what makes embarrassing memories so durable. The amygdala tags the memory as high priority. It signals to the hippocampus, which consolidates memories during sleep, that this experience needs to be retained and accessible. The emotional charge attached to an embarrassing memory is not just a side effect of remembering it. It is the mechanism that keeps it stored. The more intensely something was felt, the more deeply it is encoded. Embarrassment, especially public embarrassment, is felt intensely. So it is encoded deeply. But why does it intrude unprompted? Why does it arrive while you are showering or driving, rather than when you have consciously invited it? This is where the default mode network enters the picture. Raichle at Washington University discovered that when your brain is not engaged in a demanding external task, it does not go quiet. It activates. It defaults to a specific set of activities. Reviewing the past, simulating the future, and above all, processing unresolved social information. The embarrassing memory from 11 years ago is not finished being processed. The default mode network keeps returning to it because something about it remains unresolved. What does unresolved mean in this context? Psychologist Mark Baldwin at McGill University studied how people process social evaluations and found that experiences of social failure, or embarrassment, create what he called active self-evaluation loops. The brain's attempt to understand what the experience revealed about how you are perceived and whether anything can be done about it. The event is over. But the social question it raised is not. The brain keeps returning to it the way a tongue returns to a sore tooth, not to cause pain, but because there is something there that still needs attention. There is also a deeply evolutionary reason for this pattern. For most of human history, your social reputation was not a vanity metric. It was a survival resource. In a small group of roughly 150 people, how others perceived you determined your access to food, protection, mates, and coalition support. A single embarrassing failure could damage your status in ways that had real survival consequences. The brain that took social reputation seriously, that kept reviewing threatening social events and looking for ways to repair or prevent further damage, was the brain that survived and reproduced. You are the descendant of people who could not stop thinking about embarrassing things. That rumination was adaptive. The problem is that this system was calibrated for a world of small, stable social groups, where the same people who saw your embarrassment would see you every day for the rest of your life. In that world, the calculus of social repair made sense. Review the event, understand what went wrong, develop strategies for preventing it from happening again. Monitor how others are treating you in its aftermath. In the modern world, the person who witnessed your embarrassing moment in 2011 probably does not remember it. They may not remember you at all. Research by Gilovich at Cornell University found that people dramatically overestimate how much others notice, remember, and judge their social failures. This is the spotlight effect. you experience your embarrassment from the inside, where it is enormous and vivid. The observer experienced it from the outside, where it was a brief, minor event quickly forgotten. But your brain does not know this. Your brain's social threat detection system was not designed to factor in that strangers forget. It was designed for a village, and so it treats a memory from a work event in 2014 the same way it would treat an ongoing social threat in a small ancestral community. It keeps the memory active. It keeps reviewing it. It keeps trying to find something actionable in it. The intrusive quality of these memories, the way they arrive uninvited during moments of low cognitive demand, is also connected to a specific feature of memory consolidation. Research on memory replay has shown that the brain actively rehearses emotionally significant memories during rest periods and sleep, strengthening the neural pathways associated with those experiences. This process, called memory reconsolidation, is not passive. It is active neural work. And it tends to prioritize memories tagged with strong emotional charge, particularly those associated with social threat. Every time the default mode network replays the embarrassing memory, it strengthens the encoding. The memory gets clearer, not fuzzier, over time. This is the opposite of what most people expect and the opposite of what happens with neutral memories, which fade. So the reason you still remember the exact words you said at that party, the exact expression on the face of the person you said them to, with crystalline clarity 11 years later, is that your brain has been actively rehearsing that memory during thousands of resting states, strengthening it each time. You have not been haunted by it. You have been reviewing it, automatically, at your brain's initiative, because something about it still registers as unfinished social business. What can you actually do with this understanding? The research suggests two things. First, perspective taking. The spotlight effect is real and measurable. The person you embarrassed yourself in front of almost certainly does not remember the event the way you do, or at all. Actively rehearsing this fact, reminding yourself that you are experiencing the memory from the inside, while they experienced it from the outside, can interrupt the ruminative cycle. Second, closure. The memory keeps returning because the brain has flagged it as unresolved. Giving it a resolution, even a self-generated one, telling yourself what the event actually meant, what it revealed, what you would do differently, and then genuinely releasing the social question it raised, can reduce the frequency of intrusion. The brain is looking for somewhere to file this. Give it a place. The memory that ambushes you in the shower is not random. It is your brain doing what it was built to do, monitoring your social world for unresolved threats and keeping the most important ones accessible until they are addressed. The problem is not the mechanism. The mechanism is ancient and well-designed. The problem is that it is still using social software written for a world that no longer exists, reviewing a threat that dissolved years ago in a village that has long since scattered. Your brain does not know the party ended. It is still standing in the room, watching your face go red, trying to figure out what to do next.